Their dreams were dying in Independence, Missouri.
Folks around here are taking the trail to Oregon. I reckon we ought to do the same.
The Oregon Trail?
It'll cure the boredom.
We might learn a thing or two.
You won't learn anything.
They packed up and left the only home they've ever known.
Pa thinks he knows everything. I can't wait to start my new life in Oregon.
What new life? You're gonna be a carpenter, just like him.
Nobody wants to be the carpenter!
I'll take 4 oxen, and all the bullets $1,600 will get me.
Want any food or spare parts? Each person will consume.
No, shopkeep, just the bullets. Just the bullets.
Now, they'll learn quickly that the trail is no game. It's survival.
This trail is filled with thieves, engines, and horror I dare not say. You will die on this trail.
Pa! I got me another one! That's over 1,400 pounds of meat!
But son, we can only carry back 10 pounds.
Ride the adventure.
Hey, out of that brush! You're gonna get a snake bite!
Ride the drama.
Down here and help me cock this wagon. Dad, I told you I don't want to be a carpenter. I want to be a banker. Banker's not going to help me ford this river!
Ride the trail.
We knew that this would be difficult. Not many people will get there. But we will make it.
My name is Ashley Doctorman, and this is my EDUC 522 unit plan presentation. My unit is based on the Westward movement and has been designed for implementation in a 5th grade classroom in the state of California. The unit is designed to last 6 weeks and is comprised of 30 specifically designed lesson plans, activities, and projects. This unit will introduce concepts such as why pioneers traveled westward, what hardships they face while on their journey and when they reach their new home, and the impact that this movement had on the Indians. This unit was designed based on California state standards, cognition, and the effective use of technology. Not only is this unit designed to meet the requirements of the California state standards, it also incorporates a variety of concepts, making it a cross-curricular unit. The standards include social science, language arts, reading and writing, math, music, visual art, science, drama, speaking and listening, oral communication, and technology standards created by the International Society for Technology and Education. Cognition is formally defined as remembering, producing, understanding, solving problems, and making decisions. In order to effectively integrate cognition into the foundation of my unit plan, I continually referred to Bloom's taxonomy and Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. Lastly, I integrated a variety of technology-based lessons and activities and touched on the technological learning abilities that all of our students possess. For example, did you enjoy the introduction video for my presentation? This is an example of how digital video technology is used throughout the unit to engage the students and encourage active participation and learning. By integrating standards, cognition, and technology, the students will be presented with a unique opportunity to learn in a variety of ways, as well as experience education as an individualized program where their learning abilities and opportunities are maximized. As I developed this unit, I focused on the cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy. The cognitive domain involves knowledge and the development of intellectual skills. This includes the recall or recognition of specific facts, procedural patterns, and concepts that serve in the development of intellectual abilities and skills. There are 6 specific levels of Bloom's taxonomy. The first level is knowledge. This level requires students to recall data and information. An example of how I addressed this level of cognition during my unit was during an activity where the students were required to repeat key vocab terms and phrases that related to the Westward movement as they were presented to them in an interactive PowerPoint. The second level of Bloom's is comprehension. This level requires the students to understand the meaning of a problem and be able to state it in their own words. An example of how I addressed this stage of cognition during the unit was through a pop quiz assignment the students were to complete online about the Westward movement video they had just watched in class. The quiz required the students to interpret, summarize, and respond in their own words. They were then asked to summarize and rephrase 3 new things they learned throughout the lesson. The third level of Bloom's is application. This level requires the students to use a concept in a new situation. An example of how this level of cognition is addressed in the unit is when the students are asked to participate in a whole class game of Jeopardy! The Jeopardy! Game is used as a cumulative assessment as well as a way for the students to review what they know. The fourth level of Bloom's is analysis. This level requires the students to distinguish between facts and inferences. An example of how this level of cognition is addressed in the unit is when the students are asked to research online the different trails that the pioneers traveled on their journey to the West Coast. The students are expected to analyze the pioneers' choices and distinguish why each trail was either a good or a bad choice. The students must also consider what the pioneers' motives were in choosing their selected trail. The fifth level of Bloom's is synthesis. This level requires the students to put parts together to form a whole, with emphasis on the meaning of this new structure. An example of how this level of cognition is addressed in the unit is when the students are asked to create a flyer designed to convince their friends and family that they should also move out west. Using Flickr, Tumblr, and clip art, the students will collect, compile, and arrange appropriate photos to capture the attention of their audience. The sixth level of Bloom's is evaluation. This level requires the students to make judgments about the value of ideas or materials. An example of how this level of cognition is addressed in the unit is through a cumulative assignment where the students are asked to create a 5-minute movie trailer for the latest and greatest movie, Billy the Kid Makes a Move. The students will be divided into groups to complete the project. They will have to compile a movie trailer that represents the new film. The students will have to decide as a group how to approach the project and assess the information that they have learned in order to accurately relate their movie trailer to the lesson content. Dr. Howard Gardner, a psychologist and professor of neuroscience from Harvard University, developed the theory of multiple intelligences in 1983. The theory challenged traditional beliefs in the fields of education and cognitive science. Unlike the traditional understanding of intelligence, multiple intelligence reconsiders our educational practice of the last century and provides an alternative theory. 8 intelligences are intrapersonal, interpersonal, visual spatial, bodily kinesthetic, musical, logical mathematical, naturalist, and verbal linguistic. View this movie trailer and consider how it relates to the multiple intelligences. This video will be implemented throughout the unit in a variety of ways to meet the learning needs and preferences of all types of learners. The visual learners will enjoy viewing the video. The intrapersonal learners will enjoy writing a reflection about what the video meant to them. The musical and bodily kinesthetic learners will enjoy choreographing a dance to represent the main character's emotions and feelings, and the interpersonal learners will enjoy performing the dance in front of their classmates. The verbal linguistic learner will enjoy discussing the video as a whole class, as well as talking with their neighbor about how the video made them feel. The logical mathematical learners will enjoy participating in an activity where they track the movement of the main character on Google Maps as she makes her trek across the country. And finally, the naturalist learner will enjoy creating a packing list for the main character to use as she prepares for her big move. The Westward Movement Unit will conclude with a cumulative event, better known to the students as Pioneer Day. Each student will be responsible for participating in the event, as well as bringing a Pioneer dish and a Pioneer game for the entire group to enjoy together. As I have shown you, by using and integrating cognition, standards, and technology, any classroom can be revolutionized into a fun and effective place to learn.